A very good afternoon, everyone. I hope audio and video is clear to everyone. Okay. So let's start the session. First of all, welcome to the ACCA SBR orientation session, guys. To introduce myself, C. Vishal Jain, your mentor, educator, and yes, your friend for your ACCA FR and SBR preparation. Guys, in this session, basically, we are here to help you out in understanding the SBR more clearly. So basically, we are going to discuss everything, each and everything about ACCA SBR, be it what exactly is the syllabus of ACCA SBR, how is the course structure designed, okay, how we will conduct our sessions, okay, for ACCA SBR, further, how the ACCA examining team will test your knowledge, basically, what will the paper pattern of ACCA SBR. Further, we'll also discuss how to use ACCA Study Hub, which is a trending topic these days, and ACCA, you can say, a practice platform, which has already always been a confusing topic. Okay, though it is the one of the blessing by ACCA, but it has been confusing. Okay, how to exactly use it off. So we will discuss on that as well. Further, we'll also go ahead and discuss how to use ACCA technical resources like technical articles, examiner reports. Further, we'll also discuss what exactly should be your approach to pace, you can say, to clear ACCA SBR examinations. Now, understanding the syllabus of ACCA SBR, so basically it is divided into six parts, namely part A, B, C, D, E. Now, in part A, it is discussing the financial reporting framework. Now, what exactly is a framework? So basically, I'm assuming here that you have already studied FR. And even if you have not studied FR, no point, no challenges. In our sessions, we will assume, we'll understand that you have zero knowledge about FR and will conduct and explain each and everything from the very scratch. Okay. Now, so at FR level also we study framework, and we have the basic understanding of what exactly is framework. If for the students who doesn't know what is framework, so framework gives us the answers to all the accounting treatment which is near, you can say, nowhere discussed in any accounting standards, or might be, you can say, IAS or IFRS. Further, conceptual framework, or you can say regulatory framework, both this framework helps a standard setting body to set any new accounting standard on any transactions particularly. Now, so let's say we don't have any accounting standard particularly on, you can say, Bitcoins. Now, let's suppose if the standard setting body wants to set any accounting standard on Bitcoins, so they will take the help of the framework to set an accounting standard on that. This is all about the framework. Part B is understanding of IFRS. Now, when I say IFRS, it includes in itself IAS as well, right? So I believe all of you are already aware that IAS and IFRS both works parallelly, right? So might be for some transactions we have IAS in place, and for some other transactions we have IFRS in place. Okay. Now, further, what happens here is in understanding of the IFRS, the intent of the ACCA examining team is to help you understand what should be the accounting treatment, what should be the accounting treatment of any particular transaction. Further, they also want you to understand why there is this accounting treatment mentioned in the accounting standards. So they not only want you to know what is given in the standard, they also want you to know why it is given in the accounting standard this way. Further, they also want you to know the ethical practices in accounting standards, okay, or what are the ethical practices which a professional accountant is supposed to have. Further, they also want you to understand and identify if any wrong accounting treatment is given, identify the wrong accounting treatment and suggest the correct accounting treatment. Okay, so all those things are expected from you in part B, understanding of IFRS. Part C is group accounting. Now, under group accounting, basically the ACCA examining team wants you to understand how to basically the in-depth, they want to understand the in-depth accounting adjustments for group accounting. Generally, a question to prepare the entire group FS doesn't come at SBR level. It used to come at FR level, but not at SBR level. Okay. But what has happened, understand, first expectation of the ACCA examining team from the group accounting per se is you should have an understanding of the adjustments in the group accounting. Second, from September 23, there has been an amendment that as part of question number 1, they ask, you can say a pre-populated screen is given wherein you have to rectify the adjustments or you have to fill in the adjustments. Okay, so for that you need to have a detailed knowledge of how to prepare the FS. Will they ask you to prepare the FS? No, they will give you a pre-populated screen where might be some fill in the blanks or some mistakes done which you have to rectify or fill in the blanks. But to do solve that, you need to have an understanding of how to prepare the entire set of group accounting FS. Okay. Now, part D is interpretation of FS, which is also called as advanced performance, you can say measures. Now here basically they want you to analyze not only you can say financial statements, but a portion of the financial statements also. Like suppose at FR level, we studied interpretation. At SBR level also we are studying interpretation, but both of them are different. How? At FR level, when we studied interpretation, it was particularly, or you can say specifically, the interpretation of the financial statements as a whole. But when we are studying the interpretation at SBR level, it's not only FS, it can be FS, it can be a portion of the FS, it can be any ratios, you can say specific, they are targeting on specific ratios, it can be any data taken from the director's report which you have to analyze, it can be anything, the scope is much more broader here. Okay. Now part E is other chapters. Okay, there are some few small chapters which we have to study again here. Okay, so this is the syllabus of ACCA SBR paper. Now, how are we going to help you in this preparation by our sessions? So what we will do is we will divide our complete syllabus into 4 blocks. Okay, now like we did in FR also, so we will divide the entire syllabus into 4 blocks. Okay, these will be the 4 blocks. Now, after completion of each block, we will conduct a mock test. After completion of each block, we'll conduct a mock test. Okay. Now, what will happen is why I am dividing the syllabus into 2 blocks due to 2 reasons. First reason is they are the you can say standards or the topics of some similar nature. Okay. Second point is it will give you a milestone. It will give you a milestone based on the completion of which we will conduct a mock test. Further, we will also make a scoreboard wherein you will be able to see where you stand in the entire batch. Okay, so that serves as a purpose, or you can say a motivating purpose, you can say. Okay, so this is the syllabus and this is how we conduct our sessions. Further, exam pattern. Yeah, this is a very important point, the exam pattern. So let me explain the exam pattern to you guys first of all. So as you know that SBR paper is divided into 2 sections. Section A and section B. Now section A is of 50 marks and section B is also of 50 marks. Now, section A will have 2 questions, question number 1 and question number 2, and section B will also have 2 questions, question number 3 and question number 4. Right? Now, what will happen in question number 1? Definitely, it will be a question of group accounting. It will be a question of group accounting, definitely. Question number 2 will be a question from wherein there will be an accounting issue. There will be an accounting issue. Plus, there will be an ethical issue. Plus there will be an ethical issue. Now you have to highlight what are the ethical issues that are there in that question, and you have to answer that. Question number 3 and question number 4 will be particularly from an accounting issue. Okay, and either of the question will be from the current issues. Either of the question will be from current issues. One of them will definitely be from the current issues. So this is the paper pattern. Now question number 1 will be of 30 marks. Question number 2 will be of 20 marks. Question number 3 and 4 each of 25 and 25 marks each. But what you need to understand here is in question number one, there is an amendment. Is there an amendment in the group accounting? No, there is no amendment in the group accounting, but there is an amendment specifically in question number one. And what is the amendment? See, earlier they used to ask the questions, okay, which you need to answer. Now, what type of questions they used to ask? They used to say that calculate goodwill and explain the goodwill, okay, or something of that sort. Calculate purchase consideration and explain it off. But now what they have done is they give a pre-populated screen, okay, wherein the group accounts, either you can say group SOFP or group P&L is already prepared. Okay, now in that they will ask two type of questions. Some adjustments they have already done, but there is a mistake in that. There are some other adjustments which is fill in the blanks. Now you have to rectify or fill in these blanks. But to solve this, you need to have a complete understanding on how to prepare the group FS. It is then only you will be able to solve it out. Otherwise, you might struggle it off. Okay. So basically, what we do here is, if a student has appeared for FR paper recently, well and good, no worries. But if a student has no understanding about FR paper recently, so we will recommend you to watch the FR session also for group accounting, because in group accounting FR level we give more focus on how to prepare the group accounts, but at SBR level we give more focus on the adjustments. We give more focus on the adjustments. Okay, so we recommend that please watch the FR session also for the group accounting part only. Okay, now this is all about the exam pattern. Coming to exam approach, how is it different from ACCA FR? How is it different? Guys, understand, at ACCA FR level, it was more of a number crunching, right? It was like section A, section B, section C, all of them. It was more of a number crunching. But SBR is not a number crunching paper. It is a paper where you have to explain more, number crunching less. Number crunching less. Let's suppose the question is coming from the point of view of calculate goodwill and explain of 9 marks. So calculation of goodwill will be for 3 marks and explanation of goodwill will be for 6 marks. So see the focus, see the orientation of the ACCA examining team. They are much more focused on you explaining a topic rather than you calculating any given number. Okay, so you have to change your orientation from number per se to explanation per se. Okay, I'm not saying number is not important, they are also important, but you have to change your focus from numbers to explanation. And how will this explanation come? You have to practice more and more. Okay, now, so at SBR level, again, see, in at knowledge level of ACCA, you studied financial accounting. Okay, at skill level, you studied financial reporting paper. At SBR level, at professional level, you are studying SBR. What is the difference between all the three papers? In you can say financial accounting, that is knowledge level per, you understood how to record journal entries, ledgers, trial balance, prepare basic level financial statements. When you come to skill level financial reporting, there you understand what is the accounting treatment as per the IAS or IFRS, but you get the basic level knowledge. Okay, you get the basic level knowledge. Basically, ACCA is preparing you for SBR. It is preparing you for SBR. Now, when you come to SBR level, what happens? Here, you are not expected to recommend accounting treatment. Rather, you are expected to become a consultant to an entity. You are expected to become a consultant to an entity and communicate to the investors, board of directors, okay, stakeholders. You have to communicate to them. You have to communicate to them. You have to guide them, okay, on accounting treatment front, or what is a challenge in the accounting treatment, how it can be improved, what can be the correct accounting treatment, what are the ethical issues. You are expected to become a consultant here. Okay, so that's the difference in the orientation that a FA, FR, and SBR has. Okay, now again, if you go to FR of skill level, one question from one particular standard. But if you come to SBR, one question can come from three different standards. Like suppose a question can come from property, plant and equipment, and investment property and borrowing cost. Three standards, one question. One question having requirements from three different standards. So you need to have a holistic view of the things. You need to see the larger picture. You need to see a larger picture. Okay. It is then only you will understand. You need to link between the standards. If you study or if you understand a particular standard in silos, you might not be able to perform well in SBR. So to perform well, you need to link through the standards, link between the standards. Okay. Now, examiner will definitely test you on current issues. Now, what are current issues? What are current issues? Now, so current issues are something which is currently ongoing, a trending topic in the world. Like for example, a few months back, Bitcoins were a very hot topic. So Bitcoins was, you can say, a current issue. 2 years back, COVID-19 was COVID, right? COVID was a global pandemic. That was a very ongoing topic, hot topic, you can say. So that was a current issue back then. Okay. So whatever are the ongoing issues in the market, those comes as a current issue. Basically, the intent of ACCA is to make you ready for the practical world. You are not the one who is studying the bare standards and the theoretical way of it. No, they will give you some real life issues. They will give you some real life issues, some real life challenges, some real life questions, and they want you to resolve it off. Okay, because it is then when you qualify ACCA and become professional accountants, you will not see any case study or any challenges which is focusing on any one particular standard. No, it might have a coverage of 3 4 standards, right? So it is making you ready for the practical world. Now at FR level, what happens is there is an answer. If you write that answer, that's a correct answer, or if you write some other answer, that's a wrong answer. So what happens at FR level or at FA level, there is a right answer, there is a wrong answer. Okay. And the basis of which you get the marks. But when you come to SBR level, there is no right answer, there is no wrong answer. Every answer can be a right answer. So then how will we get marks? If every answer is a right answer, then definitely everyone will score 100 out of 100. No, you get marks on the basis of how well you can justify your point. Okay. So it totally depends how well you are able to justify, and it is on the basis of that you get the marks for SBR. What is the success formula for SBR? I mentioned that in every classes, and I will mention here also. See, there are two set of students. Okay, and this happens particularly at SBR. I will emphasize it here more. Since SBR students are generally working professionals. Okay, they might not be able to attend live classes. Okay, and it's totally fine. So there are two set of students, one who are attending live classes and the one who are taking pre-recorded lectures. Okay, so if you are going live, it's completely fine. You have to follow the track which I'm using. Okay, if at all you are taking classes. Okay, but if you are someone who are watching pre-recorded lectures, let me tell you a few points. A very important one, very important. Guys, please understand that if you are taking pre-recorded lectures, you need to be connected to your educator. If you have taken classes from me, you have to be connected to me. Okay, if you have taken classes from anyone else, you have to stay connected to your educator. Why specifically I'm telling? I have faced this issue in the past. So what happens? A student takes pre-recorded lectures. He or she starts watching the classes, and a week before the exam, he or she pings me on WhatsApp and says that, sir, I have used this strategy for my preparation. Was it correct or is it correct? Do you want to make any changes? Now tell me, 1 week is left for the exam. Am I in a position to guide him properly? No, I'm not in a position, because if I say that the approach which you have used is correct, and I know inside that the approach which he has used is wrong, that's not correct from my end. Or if I say the approach which you have used is wrong, then his confidence will go down, right? So I am unable to answer him, or I am unable to help him out. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to stay connected with your educator from the day one. And what will happen with that? If you stay connected, tell him that I have completed this much, I'm using this approach, is this correct or not? Discuss your queries with him or her. Okay, discuss your queries, but stay connected to your educator. Okay, and take constant guidance from him or her. Okay. Now, so this is my recommendation to you guys. If you are taking pre-recorded lectures, which is you can say which happens predominantly at SBR level, because at SBR students are generally working professionals. Okay. Now, coming to use of ACCA resources. See, ACCA provides you immense resources and you just need to make optimum use of it. Okay. To talk about ACCA, gives you ACCA Study Hub, practice platform, technical articles, you can say examiner report. Let me show each of them to you. Let me show it off. Okay. So that I can, I will be able to explain you better. I believe you can see the ACCA global website, right? Now come to student section in accaglobal.com, come to student section. Now come to study support resources. Under study support resources, select your qualification, that is ACCA qualification. Under your qualification, select an exam. So your paper is SBR, Strategic Business Reporting paper. Now, under your SBR paper, see, there are a lot of resources which ACCA provides you, but the major ones are four. First one, which we are going to discuss, is technical articles. Guys, you cannot skip these technical articles. Now, technical articles cover two things. First is if the topic needs proper examples or the examining team wants you to guide anything. So it is now further, the examining team gives you current issues by way of technical articles. Okay. So all those things are there in technical articles. Sir, can we skip technical articles? No, never. Never. You cannot skip technical articles. You cannot skip technical articles. Okay. So you have to cover each and every technical articles. You have to cover each and every technical articles. And there are times that the questions comes directly. I'll show it to you one question which have come directly in the exam also. Just give me a minute. It was from employee benefits. Yes, this one. I'll show it to you. See this example. If you can see this example, yeah, this one. So it came directly in the exam, just they changed the numbers and the data, that's all. Otherwise, the concept was ditto the same, exactly the same. In the exam, they asked this question. And that too, I think it was asked for around 8 marks. Okay. So this is the level of importance for, you can say, technical articles. So can you skip these technical articles? Never. Okay. Now, current issues, if I have to see, I'll show you the current issues also. See here, sustainable development goals, they are current issues. Climate related disclosures and investor focus, they are current issues. Okay, see the impact of changes in potential, impact of changes and potential changes in accounting regulation. So changes means current issues, current issues. Potential changes means the changes which is not currently in place, but it will come in place in the future. Okay, so these are the technical articles which are immense source of knowledge, and definitely you have to read it off. Now, if you are taking classes from me, all these technical articles are already a part of our classes. Okay, we will discuss it at length. But still, I recommend to my students that even though I've discussed everything in my classes, but still give it a plain read. At least give it a plain read. At least give it a plain read. Now, one more thing. Whenever you are reading any technical article, please do not read on a website. Okay, don't read here. Take a print of it and then read. Sir, why to take a print? Guys, understand, on a day, just imagine on a day before your examinations, do you think you will have sufficient time to visit the website and read all of the technical articles? No, you won't have it. Okay, then what to do? As and when you are completing any chapter, let's suppose you completed leases, then go to the technical article of leases. Okay, let's suppose you complete chapter of revenue, go to the technical article of revenue. Okay, print it off, read it off. Okay, now when you are reading, you find everything as okay, fine. We know, I know it, the concept, I know everything. Okay, but let's suppose you find anything that is very important. You find that is, oh, this point is very important. Highlight it off, and post a sticky note so that you have a ready reference which you can refer a day before your examination. So a day before your examination, you are not required to read the entire technical articles, but you are required to read only the areas which you have highlighted that you have to read before the examinations. So this helps you a lot. This helps you a lot. Okay. Now further. So this is the way in which you have to solve that, read the technical articles. Now moving on to the next point, ACCA examiner reports. Now, how ACCA examiner reports are helpful? Let me show it to you. Now, what are examiner reports? Examiner reports are, you can say, ACCA examining team who evaluates your paper wants to talk to you. So the ACCA examining team wants to have a talk with you, okay, and this examiner report is the mode of talk, okay. Examiner report are a mode of talking, okay. Now, so in the examiner report, ACCA examining team suggests and mentions what are the mistakes made by the student in the exam, and the intent of ACCA examining team is that you should not repeat these mistakes. You can make new mistakes, but do not repeat these mistakes, okay. Now see how they will mention it off. I'll show it to you. See, answers should have discussed how goodwill cannot be sold separately and so must be allocated to cash generating unit. So the examining team says that I wanted the answer like this, but no one gave the answer like this. Should have discussed. So ACC examining team is talking to you and telling, see, students, I want answers like this. What else do you want, guys? Tell me. Examining team himself is saying to you that I want answers like this. I want this. I want this. I want this. So they themselves are mentioning what exactly they want to see in your paper. What can be better than that? Now, further, I would see here, read this point. Weaker answers from the requirement, weight from the requirement of providing lists of impairment indicators. So it says that the students who provided weaker answers, this was the mistake made by them. So again, take a print of all these examiner reports and highlight the weaker answers, what should not be done and what should be done. Highlight these 2 points in everything. Highlight these 2 points in everywhere, okay? Highlight these 2 points. Additionally, what I recommend to my students is, if you don't want to take a print, no issues, but make a list. Read this technical article and make a list in your Excel file. Do's and don'ts. Do's and don'ts. So that you have a ready reference at one place, and at the end, take a print of it and just read it every now and then. Do's and don'ts. So that you are not repeating the don'ts and you are always following the do's. So this is how you have to read the examiner report. Now, it is a bare minimum. You have to read last 3 paper examiner report. It is a bare minimum requirement. But yes, if you read all, nothing can be better than that. Okay, this is how you have to use your ACCA examiner report. Now, moving on to the third point. Moving on to the third point, that is ACCA Study Hub. Let me log into that. It is getting logged in, guys. Just give me a minute, please. Now, see, this is your ACCA Study Hub. Now go on to study part. Open the ACCA SBR. It is getting opened. Now, so your ACCA Study Hub is divided into 4 parts. If you can see your screen, it has chapters, which is nothing but your study text or okay, flashcards, Now, flashcards are nothing but you can say a dictionary. Okay. See, if you have to understand what exactly is a recognition, clear it out. Click on it. The process of capturing for inclusion in the statement of financial position or statement of financial performance, an item that meets the definition of an element is called as the recognition. So while on go, while you are traveling, okay, we can use these flashcards to just understand the meaning of some specific words or meaning of some specific terms. Okay, so you can use this flashcards. Now quizzes. So let's suppose you have studied one particular chapter. So the quiz is chapter by chapter. So let's suppose you have completed one chapter, open the chapter. There are 5 questions appear on this quiz. So now, will this quiz type of question come in the exam? No, no, it will not. But at least you will have a confidence that you have the conceptual understanding of the topic. Okay, so definitely I will recommend these quizzes are a very good source of testing your knowledge per se. Now, practice. See these questions. There are these questions. Now, these questions are the questions more or less which are there in your material also. So while what I will recommend is, if you are following BPP or Kaplan, okay, continue referring to your material. Okay, now once you are done with that, you can come to ACCA examining ACCA study hub, and if there are any additional questions, you can solve it off. Okay, there is one more way out. There is one more way out which I recommend to my students is, you can log on to ACCA practice platform. Okay, just give me a minute. Let me tell it to you how to. I log into it, and then I'll discuss with you. Okay, let me log into it. For practice of SBR, there are multiple ways. There are multiple ways, and I will discuss which is the most effective way. Yeah. So this is your ACCA practice platform. This is your ACCA practice platform. Just it is updating. Just give me a minute. Yeah, done. So come to SBR, Strategic Business Reporting. Now, come to international version. In international version, ACCA official resources, click on it. Now see past exam library. How many questions you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 past paper questions plus 4 practice exams. 8 plus 4, 12. And 2 specimen exam. Okay. Yes. 2 specimen exam. So 12 plus 2, 14. Now every question paper will have 4 questions. So 14 multiplied by 4 is how much? 56 questions. If you practice this 56 questions, that is more than sufficient, I can say. This is more than sufficient and much more relevant questions. Okay. If now let me make it more clear. If you solve these 56 questions effectively, you can skip your BPP or Kaplan exam kit. Okay, you can skip that. Okay, there is no need to purchase all those things in that case, if you are focusing on this. So these 13 questions, 14 question papers plus ACCA study hub, there are few additional questions which you will find. If you do this much, nothing more is required. That is, they are more than sufficient. Students ask me, sir, are these enough? If you solve this much, this is more than enough. Okay, generally students are not able to solve this much only. Okay, so if you solve this much, this is more than enough. Okay, but yes, this should be your priority. First priority for practice should be ACCA practice platform, the questions which are already given there. Second priority should be ACCA study hub, additional questions whatever are there. Okay, so this is how you have to prioritize. Now further, ACCA practice platform also gives you a wonderful place to practice. How come? See here, blank workspace. Now in the blank workspace, what happens? They give you a full exam level window wherein you can practice any question. See, this is how your window in exam will look like. Okay, this is how your window will look like. Now, there will be exhibits provided. Okay, the question will be here, the requirement will be placed here. Okay, you will have a word processor and a spreadsheet to solve do calculations, and word processor to write your justifications. Okay, so make optimum use of this practice platform, guys. If you are solving questions in pen and paper mode, please stop it right away. It will take you nowhere. The key to clear SBR, the key to success in SBR, two things. First, conceptual clarity. Second, practice of sufficient questions. Third, practice in ACCA practice platform only. If any of the three is missing, you are preparing yourself for a fail. Okay, you need to ensure that you have done all three. Okay, conceptual clarity, practice of sufficient questions, and in ACCA practice platform, nowhere else. Is that clear? If you do this much, your success in SBR is guaranteed. That's all I can say. If you have any queries pertaining to SBR paper, you can reach out to us. This is my WhatsApp number, +918584012637. Okay, you can reach out to us over WhatsApp. And definitely, if you have any concerns, any queries, you can discuss over it. Okay, so that's all for the day, guys. I hope this orientation session would have helped you in understanding the SBR paper much more effectively. But still, if you have any concerns, queries, doubts, you can discuss over it. Okay, that's all for the day. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.